Okay, what we're looking at right now is our live model of the pig heart, and I will be identifying the parts of the heart that we are supposed to know for our next laboratory exam. Okay, the first one on here, first you orientate it, right? And this would be front. This is your right hand side. This is your left hand side. This is our right atria, and this small area at the top is our left atria. Down here is our right ventricle, this side right here. It's right. If you can see, there's actually like a line that delineates the right and the left ventricle. It's right there. And our tricuspid and our bicuspid valves, our tricuspid is on the right side of the heart. And let's see. I don't know if you're going to be able to see this, but we're going to give it a shot. It's where the atria empties into, the right atria empties into the right ventricle. Okay, can you see that? And then our bicuspid valve, this one is a lot easier to see, but I'll try to hold it apart and get my fingers out of the way. Here's your bicuspid valve.
Okay.
Okay, the next thing we have to identify is our papillary muscles. And here we're looking at our left ventricle. And if you can see them, which is another thing we have to identify, which is our chorda tendineae, they're actually these little fibers, and they look like cords. So that would be easy to remember. And they're right here. And those are attached to the papillary muscles. So this right here, almost rounded surface, where the chorda tendineae are attached to, here and here, are the papillary muscles. Our pulmonary trunk is right here, and you can see it. Actually, we also need to identify the pulmonary valve, which is right here, which is coming from the right ventricle. And if you insert a probe from the right ventricle, it goes through the pulmonary valve into the pulmonary trunk, which goes to your lungs. Okay, and our aortic valve. This is the best way to see the aortic valve. It's just right down through the aorta. If you can see it, looks like a little, almost like a sphincter. But it's closed. But if you take a probe and you go through your left ventricle and go through the aortic valve, it will come straight up through the aorta. So that's how you know it's the aorta. Okay, and then our inferior and superior vena cava. Okay, remember this is the orientation of our heart. So this is the superior side, and more towards the base of the heart would be inferior. So first we're going to identify the superior vena cava. And I'm going through the right atria right now. Let's see. And here we're coming out at the top. It's kind of difficult to see, but right there, there'd be like almost like a tube of right there, which would be your superior vena cava. And then our inferior vena cava, which you pass this probe through, comes out, and it's right here. So it looks like flappy tissue, but it's not. It's actually the inferior vena cava. And again, you can tell that because the right atria receives blood from the superior and inferior vena cava. And next we have the tissues that we have to identify. We have the pericardium, or the parietal pericardium, and that's the yellow tissue. And this one's a really good model, and you can actually see that yellow hard tissue. Our epicardium, or our visceral epicardium, is this shiny layer of tissue, and I think the lab manual refers to it kind of like the pia mater, like in the nervous system. And then our myocardium is our meaty area. It's all this inside. And then our endo, which is inside, is the layer of tissue inside, right here. It's shiny looking. That's our endocardium. Okay, that's all we have to identify.